Though my voice never trembles, sometimes it can be overwhelming to figure out what to say and where to start. But on this episode of Say What You Need to Say, I never doubt that God exists. And if I ever did, I couldn't know.
You gotta have a love for your people. You gotta have a love for self. You gotta have a certain level of knowledge.
Is it so hard to believe you could be wrong about your religion?
I'm hard, she's soft. Right. I go for freedom, she goes for love. I make sure that I maintain, protect, provide. I make sure I steer things in the right direction. I have a vision, and if I'm off that vision, she can check me. If I'm not following God correctly, then she can check me, right? So if you're not doing shallow work, I don't think you should be with anybody else.
There's just so much to cover, but
she blocked from caller, so I block her on every social media.
So, all me say is that you're a liar, Lexi. You asked me to get your stuff. You never talked to Samantha about it. Then you tell me that you're going to call the police to get your stuff. Then I ask you, why are you threatening to call the police when no one is preventing you from getting your stuff?
You gotta take your shoes off because the sun is a shower called a cathode ray, and the shower water is electrons. And the electrons shower on the anode, which is Earth. And that anode, which is Earth, starts pumping out all these negative ions, in which your feet and the bottom of your feet is called the what?
So, is it so hard to believe you could be wrong about your religion? Most religions strongly believe that the other religion is false, and for that reason they discriminate against each other. While some, like Jehovah's Witnesses, believe they have the truth and try to guide the lost sheep home. Fun fact about most Jehovah's Witnesses that I know, they used to be a part of something else till they found the truth. If I don't know anything, I know the truth can be found anywhere. All of it, maybe not. The witnesses, like many others, think they got it all in its entirety, if that even makes sense. To that I say, O wise one, can inferior knowledge surpass superior knowledge if put to the test? The need to safeguard your heart to the possibility of being wrong in the name of protecting what you already know is dangerous to me. If one is so firm in one's faith, do as the Bible says, listen with discernment, not turn a blind eye to new information, for lack of knowledge is all you shall perish. That is in the same Bible that you used to save lives while neglecting your own. I see much weakness in you and your faith if even non-argumentative disagreement can challenge your belief system. There was nothing to me like Jehovah till I found that there is more to my Creator. If being a witness is being a part of a cult, it was the only cult I approve of, for that unconditional love is unmatched. But I now pity them for their limitation. I know truly how strong their love and faith is, but to know God is more than what the Bible teaches, and not care to learn what's missing, can't be true love. This is where I'm glad God knows our hearts, my heart. For wherever you choose to serve, if you're genuine about it, you'll be alright, but still limited to what your Creator is really about. To know a Jehovah's Witness is to understand the kind of love I'm talking about, especially when they're serious about their faith. And I've never met another Jehovah's Witness like my sister. Of course, there are others in there, but she was my sister. She's my sister. So when my faith got shaky, she was somewhat of a rock to me. I love how faithful she is to God. Whether she know of God, whether she believe it's the truth. The reason why I'm mentioning my sister is because during my hardest time ever, she was not there for me as a faithful witness. But the thing about witness, it's as if they really support their own. They ride for their own. I'm not a witness, was never a witness, but they don't really care if you're blood or not, if you don't seem to be Team Jehovah's Witness. They tolerate as much as they can tolerate, but you can't cross certain line, which is why I guess some people believe it's a cult. And after all that I've been through, and I got no support from my sister. Not that I was looking for it, but I was paying attention to everybody in my surrounding, and it really made me think. Everybody have hard time, and when she had her hard times, I was there for her. And I'm not really trying to hold this over her head because I see it as a spiritual warfare. It's way more than I'm letting on right now. But what it highlight for me is that if Jehovah tell you to be so loving and caring and to save lives, and I was in dire need of help, and you were never ever 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 there. It's now what, May maybe 9 or 10 or something like that. And I saw my sister once for less than 1 hour because I ran into her in a store this year. And we spoke for a little bit. Not like, well, I wouldn't really call it talking. She was returning something in the store that I happened to be in, and she asked me if I wanted the item. And I was like, no. She's like, well, she don't know what she's going to do with it because she have to return it anyway, exchange it anyways, blah, blah, blah. And that's all we spoke for that brief moment. And I took it from her. It seemed as if there was no hard feeling, even though we haven't been talking before that for longer than January, February, March, April, May. So it's just weird to me as a dedicated witness, knowing that your sister is in dire need of support and you never even offer a plate of food, not a hug, not a phone call to say how you doing. And you're out there in snow, rain and storm doing God's work. I'm not trying to make her look like a bad person because she's not. I'm just saying the situation just highlight something for me about Jehovah's Witnesses. Because if there was a poster person for Jehovah's Witness, it would be my sister. That's how dedicated she is. So it makes no sense to see somebody dying and step over them like you don't care. You don't say it, but your action does. That really set off a light bulb for me when it comes to that particular religion, because I know how faithful she is, and I know how willing they all are to cut you off if they feel like you're not in harmony with what Jehovah says you're supposed to be in. Anyways, I don't want to keep going on as if I'm mad at her, because I'm not. She's still a sweetheart, thinking that she's doing what she's supposed to be doing, whatever that is. I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It's not the only religion, it's not the worst religion. But that was that. Anybody knows somebody who knows almost everything, though they've never been couple, I don't know, feet away from their front door? It's like they gossip so much, they know everybody's business, whether it's true or not. So I ended up staying with somebody like that after the eviction stuff. So from that person, I understand the reason why my sister was so adamant about her father living with her instead of me is because she was under the impression that I'm gonna hurt him. Like really, really hurt him. Don't even make no fucking sense. I don't even want to talk about that. But quick backstory on that, how it could even come up in any conversation, is like I said, me and my father, we don't argue about shit. There's just so much to cover, but anyways, after everything stopped falling apart, me and my father finally started arguing after many decades. I wasn't responding. I let him vent, say whatever he wanted to say when he would argue about me not working after losing my job a few weeks after losing, or a few months, probably 2, I don't know, whatever. He was just going off in public, and I was just there listening. And then we took a little half an hour break, and then we went at it again, and I snapped. I was like, okay, so if you don't decide to stop and I decide to snap, and because you feel like you're the father and you have the right to behave a certain type of way, and I dare respond, and then you retaliate, and then I decide to retaliate because I'm not the one, and then you see a lot of red light and blue light coming out here, police, whatever. Is that what you want? Because you're arguing forever now, being disrespectful, and I'm not responding, and you're still going. But now you need to know that I've had enough. That's all that happened. And I remember calling my sister and I told her about that argument. I don't know what else I said to her in any heat of any moment, but she should know me better. I can't imagine saying what she think I said that she told other people that I said. But nevertheless, I explained to her what happened, and it came back around that she took it as me threatening her father. So despite me not working and being able to pay the bills, she got somewhere bigger where she could take him away to safety. The next thing I want to touch on about that sister before I move on is that right before I moved to wherever I'm at right now. I was living with my father. Him and all 3 kids, me and 2 more sisters were there. One by one, everybody left. Me and Daddy were there for years. And around the time everything started falling apart, everybody just started to show some different side, including my father, who I never argue with. Started to argue about just about everything. Spiritual warfare, like I said. Probably need to keep that in mind. So I'm not mad at anything. I'm just observing, like, these people don't even have control over themselves. They're not seeing that something is just not right. But nevertheless, eventually, some eviction came up, and before the eviction came up, my sister, she was living in a 1-room somewhere that she rented, and she decided to get somewhere bigger where she could have her father come and live with her, leaving me by myself while not working. I did cover, I'll cover that a little bit too, somewhere where I lost my job, no income whatsoever, and the only person paying the bills in the house. She went somewhere bigger and took that help from me, so to speak. And it was just too much going on. It's very hard to put in words everything, but I try to highlight the fact that spiritual warfare is real, and the most important thing to me is that no matter what the situation is, I have the ability to be happy. Did I say that right? I have the ability to be happy in any circumstances. So I feel like sharing my story, if I don't get it right now, I'll get it right tomorrow. Sharing my story should be able to help somebody to keep their head up no matter what they're going through, and that you don't really need family and friends to stand firm. I see how people think they need them, which is why some who aren't strong enough can fall apart without the help and support. But I've done it. I'm doing it. Still on the journey. Wish I could say it's crazy better, but it's better. Better is all I can give you right now. Okay, there's another sibling that I didn't really want to mention. But with the spiritual warfare stuff going on, I wouldn't really say it started with her, but it just intensified after I opened my space to her. She is a influencer. Bad influence if you ask me, but influencer nevertheless, with a very nasty lifestyle, and I thought she just needed, guidance, and I was open to being that for her if she would let me. And I opened my space to her, and she came to live with me January 1st, went on the internet live, told a lie, and that all took place January 6th, less than a week after coming to live with me. Whole life started to fall apart. A lot of things making sense now, but after that, that's when everything really started to shake up, like I say, and my father started arguing. Lost my job, wrongfully terminated. Don't really want to get into that right now. There's just so much to cover, but
That from caller, so I block her on every social media. I text Uncle Vernon, which is fair father, for me going to the house to get my stuff. He act like he never trust me for going there to get my stuff. So I start get mad now, I start talk what me I go do, how me go get my stuff them and whatever. So she left my stuff them at her father's restaurant.
tell her to not comment now because she's upset and she knows the truth. But she's like, leave me alone, blah blah blah, and she's at it, Liam. She's replying to everybody.
So, all me say is that you're a liar, Lexi. You asked me to get your stuff. You never talked to Samantha about it. Then you tell me that you're going to call the police to get your stuff. Then I ask you, why are you threatening to call the police when no one is preventing you from getting your stuff? The only thing I did was told Samantha that you said you were going to stab her up and that you should get out of the house. I didn't want you guys fighting over something stupid. Then you blocked me because I was trying to get you guys to calm down, like I did nothing wrong, nothing to you. Yet you call me wicked because you blocked me on IG. I blocked you back. I blocked you because I don't have time for drama.
This is way more than what meets the eye, and that's the only reason why the story is coming back up. When I heard that my family could be doing or is doing witchcraft on me, it was a bit too much to believe. Though this is still new to me, nothing else is adding up, but I still like to call a thing. And let's say with or without witchcraft, a lie is a lie. And on the note of anybody blocking anybody, the day before she went online and start our gang stalking, it's clear that we were following each other. And, she was doing too much leading up to the time whatever happened. I didn't even realize that she removed the picture that she had posted the day before and unfollowed me until I sent her a message and it didn't go through. If you know how that works, you know how that works. Speaking of how things work, that post that she made the day before, she took it down the day after. I thought it was a cute gesture the time I saw it. But it's making sense now that, send her people over in numbers before getting started with the gang stalking, which would make sense because you're stronger in number, yeah? If she didn't blatantly lie like she did and never apologize or ask for clarification about any misunderstanding if there was one, then I wouldn't even be considering the possibility of destiny swap being true. Like, what is destiny? How do you swap destiny? She and her followers carry on and getting me shadow ban and everything else. It was comment like this first one here where I was even responding in the first place until Divine shut me up and showed me what was really happening. Reads, you know you're unfair. Why family like you want to bring out the worst in people? Given the fact that I always and only wanted the best for everybody that I ever crossed paths with, it kind of hurt then. But no, it's like karma is what it is and everybody's guilty by association. Just gonna leave that there. Could that person really be a blind follower like the others or just one of the ones that they're working with behind the scene? Because none of them is working by themselves. This is just one of the many texts that I received after she gave out my number and line. To summarize, I'm being called a mad bitch and I need to get my life together. Somebody else texts me asking if I know who this is, to which I'm like, it don't even matter. I watched my baby sister treat people the way she treated me for years, and I thought it was all entertainment until it reached me. Truth be told, her personal life is super sad, and I know more than what she's letting on to others, and that's why I wanted to help her. And it's now being clear to me how the devil can really use people like those, people who need help. She really need help. This here is that friend that they keep bringing up, the one who they say I'm sponging on, the one who helped me get the ticket for her to come here at last minute out of detention, and it only took her 1 week to leave. Tell me that she didn't have a plan. If you recall, I said I'm trying to figure out how witchcraft is playing any part in this, because nothing makes sense, and like I did say, she blatantly lied. Make it make sense how she would be an influencer and I took her to a party in New York and lock her in a car, a party where other influencers are. And what kind of attention am I trying to bring to myself? Because that's the only thing that would make sense. Me craving attention and not caring how I get it. Also, if you're taking notice of these pictures, I was there until the party was over. She did say I left her in New York, remember? And I can barely see the artist in the background here behind this car, but she should know herself. I was there hours after the party was over and she disappeared with her friends. And that's when I left. Remember she mentioned my father who was acting like he didn't trust her? Anyways, he was helping me to fix a room for her because we weren't planning for her to stay just 1 week. I got her a TV that nobody used, ended up giving it away to my father after getting eviction notice. Fixing baby girl's room. Just noticed this in the video. I bought it for my little sister in January and it's December now. I'd have to give it to another sister. Like I was going to get into everything that fell apart since she came into my life, including starting a new account on the problem follow or losing the car that I was using to take her all over the place. But it's getting too low vibrational for me, so I'm just going to leave it there. Turn around on someone, I look deep into my head back. I bet he saw my thoughts and future plans. All love still. I wish I saw it too. To whom it may concern, I try to make my storyline bearable to watch. I'm more concerned about being honest. I'm open to constructive criticism if it's gonna help me, but I'm just keeping it real here. Amazon made me realize how much I can get done in a day because from start of shift to clocking out, I feel like I've been here for ages. I said, well, while working for a man, don't forget to work on future self for divine equally hard or harder. I'm just doing voiceovers at this point because I took them sounds out for copyright purpose. And yeah, this is how I would regroup, reground myself in that energy draining place. Somebody's still sleepy. It is what it is. Mi casa, su casa. taking bad things to make joke. Turn the camera on to see what I look like stressed. No, I don't believe in crying and posting shit like looking for pity, but I'm trying to get out of this. I'm trying to get out of this nasty mood, and it's like a fight, you know, because I feel how I feel, but I'm thinking not wanting to be in this place, in this mental space is not enough to just get up and say, okay, I feel better now. Oh, fuck this foolish record and shit I see, you know. At least I'm finding a reason to smile. Oh, fuck it all. Fuck it all. A cross between the past and the future flashes across my mind. I had to duck to hide my tears. Am I the only one thinking about our children's future? I think I broke down for the last time today. I need to do something about it. We need to talk. While I was there, I was just thinking about, life. Couldn't stop thinking about life, like this isn't it. And my son is coming into a age where he's gonna have to be working for people like this, and it's just too much to
Getting ready for work. I should have been there like 3 hours ago. Ooh, damn earring back. Okay, there it is.
And this night I was just feeling like a tomboy. Nothing to see here. My coworkers always questioning my dress code, but when you love fashion, you don't care. I think it's time to go. That is just time to go. How many years are we talking?
I've been here 5 years. I never take notice of that door. S144. I am in love with 144.
Like I said, I was at the job at Amazon, and it's not something I want to get into right now. Wasn't planning on staying there much longer. Didn't have a quick date in mind, so I guess I was supposed to leave, spiritually speaking, and I tend to hesitate, or maybe the timing was just divine and had nothing to do with if I was ready or not. I don't know, but anyways, while I was there, I was just thinking about life. Couldn't stop thinking about life, like this isn't it. It sure wasn't it. It took me a little trip trying to take a chance on myself, which I'm still taking. But I wondered for a minute about the kind of listener I am, since God don't speak English but use signs. And with all the signs, if it wasn't one thing, it was the next. Was I a bad listener because of everything that tried to stop me from going? And then what happened when I went? But then I find comfort in feeling like there's no such thing as wrong way. Some path might just come with more lesson than some. I don't know. That's a good way for me to look at it. Nevertheless. The sign says Richmond somewhere, because I had no idea where I was at one of my many stops.
I'm gonna wait for my next bus ride, Papa. Next I come 11:20 after 11 now. Me never know say so much that. Me know say it'll be how much days. But me thinking I just drive, and then you stop somewhere and then drive, and then you reach. Just drive it, stop it. Every time I reach somewhere, me no know, shot me then me no know if I lost that. Me have to keep me a check it. I say, Jesus, Daddy. Never again. Me no know. Next time I go have my own private plane.
That's somewhere to go.
I'm gonna assume that they're not paying these Greyhound drivers properly. I'm waiting to go on our next bus and as usual, I keep my distance from the crowd, protecting my energy. We got that one.
Oh man, the camera just stopped rolling. I was trying to catch that the Greyhound drivers them in their action. I don't know what's going on with them.
I come from somewhere way back of them bush there, and I don't know how much further I go. Somebody said, can I come down to the side here and turn somewhere around the side here? I don't know. And I'll find a motel or something. Look at me, I sweat.
The weather was weathering because it had no business being so hot, and the night wasn't much different.
You gotta take your shoes off because the sun is a shower called a cathode ray, and the shower water is electrons. And the electrons shower on the anode, which is Earth, and that anode, which is Earth, starts pumping out all these negative ions, in which your feet and the bottom of your feet is called the what?
So,
A little louder. Ooh. One more time. Okay, so we got solar energy. And then we got electron. Soul to soul, same. It's right there in front of you. And you know, there's also called arcs, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But the sole of your feet is there to absorb that energy. And it is gonna get rid of all inflammation that exists in your body. All the diseases that you have can be fixed simply by going out in the sun and grounding alone before you take anything. And this is how I know. Next slide. Keep going. One more. Okay.
You need 2 streams of income to come up pretty much. So basically,
How many streams of income you say? 2.
you got to start with 2. All right, that's important. So you got to live off one, and then you got to invest the other. All money in on the other one, because you got to think the other one is risk free.
It boggles my mind that you can have 10,000 people watch that. You understand me? But nobody says, wait a minute, this man's saying he's making these amount of thousands per day. Because when you have a poor mind, you can't operate, right? Enlightenment is not just knowing truth, it's when you become truth, right? It's when you activate your energy. You understand me? It's when you actually execute on the things that you told and the things that you know. It's not saying that I know these foods are unhealthy for me. No, it's actually having a refrigerator full of healthy foods. Right? That's when you are enlightened on something. It's not having knowledge, which is facts, data, and statistics, right? The knowledge is the experience, and the experience over time becomes the wisdom, right? So most cultures are more mature than us, so they are financially wise. So we're learning to get the knowledge on finances because what? You can't go to war without money, right? How you gonna have resources and provisions for the soldiers so that they can move out? So, my brother, can you tell them where they can find you and if they want to learn, how they can learn from you?
You can find me on Instagram at Aristotle Investments, ARISTOTLE, like the Greek philosopher, _investments, all right? I just want y'all to succeed. I want y'all to get money.
If a person ain't did that work, then you have to accept you're with a traumatic person or a person that's dealing with trauma and you haven't dealt with that, so you don't mind it. Right. So you can't blame this person because you ain't here and then when they treat you wrong, you want to blame them. But you know you ain't in the right space as well. So behind every no good woman, they say it's a man. But behind every no good man, what's behind him? So there has to be empathy on what makes us, right? Who we are. Because we talk about the effects a lot, but what about the cause? Right? The cause is where you go into diagnosing things. If you know, you got, for me, you gotta have a love for your people. You gotta have a love for self. You gotta have a certain level of knowledge, right? You gotta have, well, a woman gotta have a certain level of femininity. There's a lot of masculine women today. If you masculine and he masculine, he don't need you, right? You can't match his energy in that manner, right? It has to be opposite attracting energy, right? You do that with men that are alike, right? That's a magnetic energy because together we are a stronger force. But with your woman, she has to be different. I'm hard, she's soft. I go for freedom, she goes for love. I make sure that I maintain, protect, provide. I make sure I steer things in the right direction. I have a vision, and if I'm off that vision, she can check me. If I'm not following God correctly, then she can check me, right? There are things that he submits to, so you submit to what he submits to through him, right? So for men, how you gonna be with it?
I chose to seek out guidance or whatever it was I was seeking from 19 Keys, and I went to his high level tour. Is it high level tour? High level, whatever the name of the tour was. It was a good show, but I wasn't really there for the show. I was there to talk to him. Unfortunately, while I was making my preparation, a lot of things just kept falling apart where, you know, money got even tighter. Couldn't afford a VIP, so I didn't get to see him then. And what else happened? I'm losing my thought, guys. It's like 1:57, 1:58 a.m. I'm tired. It took me so long to even say this much. Like, I feel so much pushback against me even telling my story. And I'm not really a storyteller, so like I said, if I don't get it right now, I'll get it right tomorrow. There was a lot of struggle, if you will, surrounding me trying to get to that show. Either my bank card wasn't working, or this or that or whatever, and I would ask an in-law to purchase a ticket for me, and they run around so much circle, and it just didn't work out that way. But I felt like the devil was working, and I was adamant about going to that show. I felt like something was trying to stop me, and I was not gonna let it. I don't know, maybe I wasn't supposed to, but after going, everything fall in place so beautifully. It made me feel like, despite the pushback, I have no regret. So I don't even want to get into how I got the ticket, the one-way ticket. However, I was gonna find my way back. I'd figure that out later. I got a one-way ticket and I made it to the show. Couldn't get the VIP ticket that I wanted, and it was at the event where I purchased my ticket, like a worst seat possible. Anyways, after the show, I tried to see him. His staff was like sweet and sour. It's like they just sweet and sour. One minute it's like they want to help me get to him, and the next minute they can't. Like, it was just too much, and I was just trying to hold on. There was this guy there, KT, I believe his name is. KT only probably spoke 2 sentences to me, if that much, and it made me feel like I didn't waste my time going to that show at all. And after I didn't get what I wanted that night, like I said, it was a one-way ticket. I sold my car. I was supposed to sell my car to get the money to buy my ticket to go back home. There was a delay in selling the car, and a friend, there's just too much to talk about right now, but that didn't work out. And the next day, while I was stranded, I saw on Instagram that Mr. Keys have a event somewhere else, not too far from the bus station where I was. And I took it as a sign, like, okay, Sammy, try again. And I did. And the funny thing about that, the next day it was, some people from the show remember me. Oh, you were the girl wearing that, and you were at the front of the stage, and like, I don't know if they were watching me or something, but some of the staff remember me, the ones that I didn't speak with. And Mr. Key finally showed up at the event, and like I said in one of my videos, he said that he just got off tour, and he's not really here for, he's just protecting his energy and whatever, and I respect that, and I pick my struggles up and take my ass back to the train station where I slept on the floor. Oh boy, life is just life, and I know I sound a little, or look a little, I don't know, down about it or whatever. I'm not. I'm just trying to figure out how to communicate this with others and try to help somebody understand that when you choose to take a chance on yourself, you might become a target. Like, it's just too much. But nevertheless, it made me realize how resilient I am, and it's admirable to me. Like, goddamn, I have so much backbone I didn't even know. Like, whatever, I'm gonna share the videos, and like I think I mentioned before that if you guys feel like skipping here and skipping there, feel free, because it made me cringe. I don't know if it's because it's me and I don't really know how to put these things together.
I'm like right there by the front. There's nobody here yet. Some people come drop off and pick up what they want, drop off and pick up, but there's nobody here yet. I look like I'm gonna get a good view of where I'm at. I've been asleep from, I don't know, sometime this morning. Before daylight, way before daylight.
The show was overall a good show, but I was really there for the spiritual stuff, not the financial stuff. I guess you realize you need both, but it's the spiritual stuff for me. I have to leave like a dog with my tail between my legs. Finding humor in everything is like a gift and a curse, but it is what it is. I'll never curb my enthusiasm for nobody. But I see it got me in trouble with people's demons. Here I was sitting in the back seat of my then car with my ex-girlfriend, and her spooky, because they were going to test drive the car to see if they approve paying for it. I was going to use that money to get my ticket to go back home, because I was so determined to go to that show to get questions answered. They changed her mind at last minute, or she changed her mind at last minute, but she did get me an Uber to go to a location where I thought I was going to be able to finish the mission that I went so damn far for. I started taking pictures of places that might help me get back to the bus station because I didn't know where I was. I saw this sign when I was using the restroom somewhere, and I'm like, I don't know how long I'm going to be here for. So it would almost seem as if I didn't plan my trip well, but I kind of did. Life was just life, and as if I wasn't supposed to go, but I was determined to. I am currently going through a process called learning who is who. I don't know if it's a thing for everybody, but that's what I'm going to call it. Trust and believe. It has its ups and downs, mostly downs. And the down make you feel like you want to give up on people. But I think it's very important to let people be who they are. I mean, if you can accept it, you accept it. If you can't, you can't. But don't fight it. Don't force them to change. See them for who they are. Accept it if you want to accept it. Trust and believe. Right at this point, I realize I ain't got no friends. I mean, I've always known that. But I'm a very social person, so I deal with a lot of people. But friends, define the word friend for me. And if one of you who call yourself my friend think I'm wrong, come for me. Come. At some point, all I could do is just watch the time and everything that passes by. To this day, I never doubt that things will always work out, but me and divine timing just never really get along. The more I'm learning about it, the easier it is, but that was that. This here is the 4 agreement. The audio is on YouTube. It was a good, what they call it, timekeeper for me. I don't know what I was waiting for. Here I was at the airport, waiting again, but a wait is a wait. Oh, I am being tested. The camera won't turn around, but I have to get this. To this day, I wonder why people always stand up and they know they can't move until the plane door is open. I don't get it. I'm just showing you that they're not moving. They've been standing there long before I start recording, and they might be there long after. Why are we standing? Again.
Is it just me? The cloud was looking familiar as soon as I got out the airport the other day. Me appreciate it even if me alone is see it. That is it. Love you divine. I made a vid. Cause I saw a smiling face after.
I have to do a voiceover real quick. I was talking about the dark cloud over the light. It was in the shape of a heart just now, but after I made a video, I'm seeing a face. A cute smiley face. Don't play with me.
I would believe this pic was Photoshop if it wasn't me who took it. But after this trip, I kept seeing hearts everywhere. I saw a heart in the watermelon. No, I did not cut that. Broken glasses on the ground. One of them in the shape of a heart. There are many more, but only one in the shape of a heart. I had overnight food, fried dumpling, in the shape of a heart. The cloud in the shape of a heart. I started smoking because of stress, and the grabber, if you're Jamaican, you know what that is, in the shape of a heart. I was having ice cream, made a little spill in the shape of a heart. By the way, I don't smoke anymore. Quit on my own. I feel proud to say that. Some of the things I've seen don't want me to take pictures of it. And this day I was crying, and when I wiped my face, it came out in the shape of a smile. I figure I'll share how the divine led me to the key. So if you notice, these leggings, they'll be in the videos that I'll share, when I'm sharing the stories leading up to everything here. So I want to put emphasis on being stuck between two worlds and strengthening my intuition. I find that if I listen to it properly, it never let me down. Oh, and I'm still in these leggings because I came home today, and it was only when I got home I realized that I got the key. I got the key! Can I put this in a nutshell? So with this spiritual awakening stuff, I don't really have anybody to talk to. No, I don't have anybody to talk to, except spirits. And that sound like ghosts, but not ghosts. It's like imaginary friends, but not imaginary friends. Like
Ay. This is why I say I'm strengthening my intuition. I'm going crazy. It's like I'm listening and I don't know what I'm listening to, but there's this thing that just it's guiding me and it never fail. So I guess that's the spiritual awakening stuff part. And as for Mr. Keys now, 19 Keys. I've been watching his program on YouTube, High Level Conversation. And because of his program, I saw some people talking about numbers, how to understand the universe communicate with you. It's a lot of stuff that I'm gonna have to explain later on. I'm just explaining now. Again, thanks to Mr. Key's program, I've been taking notes and all the signs after signs after signs, because somehow every time I have a question, the answer will just come to me some way, somehow. And I keep getting signs after signs and being so confused about what's happening to me. All these signs led to Mr. Keys for various reasons. I figure he have one of the key to unlock whatever was happening to me. So I went to his show, the last Houston, Texas. Yes, Houston, Texas. First time there, never going back. I'm super observant and I realized this man used a lot of logics. And I always felt like something was missing. Like an ingredient was missing to the method to his madness, so to speak. And like I said, I'm going to have to make some more videos to make things clearer. But based on the type of person he is and the type of person I am, it doesn't matter what type of relationship would form. I figured together we could create something huge that this movement really need. So I followed the signs that led me to him. And like I said, I was disappointed. But the problem with that, let me settle this camera down. I was relying heavily on somebody to help me find myself, figure out what's happening to me. And again, like I said, every time I have a question, the answer come to me. So I followed the signs that led me to him. And when I got disappointed, I realized that I don't need somebody outside of me to tell me who I am. So going there and being so disappointed made me realize what I was looking for all along. That was the key. I found me.
I used to think being vulnerable is the problem. But, finding it difficult to tell my story because I have a lot of stories to tell. Not because I want to tell them, but because I'm understanding that I am here for a purpose. And I've accepted my calling. And anyways, everybody's on a journey. And on mine, it turns out that it's a very spiritual one. A very, very spiritual one. I never thought that God exists. And if I ever did, I couldn't know. I'm the type of person to pick myself back up if ever I fall. It's like a fun thing to do, natural thing to do. But on January 6th, 2023, last year, that was not a fall. I don't know what that was. But yeah, I pick myself up, it's what I do. But the lesson that came with it, bro, sis, I have to share is what I'm understanding to help somebody who may be going through the same thing. And trust and believe, it's not easy. Sharing the story is harder than the shit that I've been through. Ain't that something? But I'm gonna try. I'll try putting down some names here so I can not really stay in order, but at least remember what to talk about. Like my family members and maybe work and some friends. I remember this saying about if some of us knew what God wanted us to do or the mission that God was sending us on, would have probably declined. And I'm not sure I would, but I understand that hesitation might come up. And I understand that clear now, being that talking about stuff which is supposed to be the easiest part. Like I said, it's harder than what I've been through. It sounds crazy if you know what I've been through. Get into it a little bit in a second. So I get one job to tell my story. And anyways, I've done more than one job anyways. But I mean, like, it's the one that's clear as day that I'm supposed to do everything. I've just been gliding through the struggles, coming out victorious, facing more, coming out victorious. But the one that was made obvious was tell your story. And I'm hesitating. I'm not really hesitating, but probably could. You can see. It's like I want God to do that for me too. It always got me like, if not God, then who? And I strongly do believe in God. There's some invisible force that the only time I'm fully aware of it is when times get hard, and it's like I don't know how I do what I do, but I'm no longer down. I'm no longer seeing certain things a certain way that caused me to feel like life is really falling apart. It's like I'm thinking as I'm recording, and I know this video might be damn long, but I really want to know the shit that I've been going through and picking myself up, putting pieces back together. It would seem as if not God, then who? And then I have to pause and give myself credit, because if not me, then who? You know? So it just made me feel like I want to share whatever is happening here. I thank me for being a good listener, or a good enough listener. And I thank my spirit team for not giving up on me. I'm almost super confused, but with everything that's going on, there is just no way God isn't real. Be it something outside of myself or me, my damn self. I have no doubt that I'll get to the bottom of it. I don't know why is it so challenging, or seems so challenging. Like, what is going on? The only thing I'm sure of is that God is real, and my life experience proved that to me. And it's so hard to tell my story. I couldn't tell you why. Maybe I should stop saying it's hard. I have no idea. It's gonna come out when it's supposed to come out, like everything else. Which reminds me of divine timing. Sometimes I wish if I was God, then I would know the time and the hour or whatever. But I guess being in this, what do you call it? I was gonna say meat sack like that guy did in Matrix, but I'm loving my avatar. Falling more and more in love with her. The more I learn about myself, the more I learn about God. Oh my goodness, what is going on? I know too much to turn a blind eye. But the more I know, the more confusing things seem to be. But the stronger this love for God gets, and for myself, it's just amazing and amazingly confusing. I don't want to say confusing, but I just have questions, man. I have questions.